Neotel grew its revenue by approximately 25% for the year ending March 2012, with a positive EBITDA of 11%. The growth comes on the back of a 50% increase in business customers and a doubling of the consumer base over the financial year to over 100,000 customers. For more on this, we're joined in studio by Chief Executive Sunil Joshi. Thanks very much for your time, Sunil. Well, you can't fault these numbers, and your growth is unbelievable in terms of both what we've seen from your business customers and your consumer base. You put your objectives out, I think, in the last period when we chat, and you're certainly delivering on those. What are you doing that is seeing you roaring ahead like this?
Well, I think the first two things I'd like to do is thank our customers whose vote of confidence signifies the results that we've shown, but also the 1,000-odd staff that we have, the dedicated and passionate staff at Neotel that are really putting all the pieces together to make a difference and serve our customers well. The real difference for us was around just getting down to the basics and driving focus in the 4 strategic imperatives that we had, which was improve customer experience, and we're not there yet, we still got more improvement to make, becoming profitable, which is turning EBITDA positive for the full fiscal year, which we achieved, passionate about our people and putting investments in their training, their development and opportunities for growth, and of course market share and growth of the 20% on the top line.
What are you doing to grab that market share? Are you advertising? You're saying obviously there's a better focus, you're servicing your clients better, but it's a highly competitive arena.
Yes.
Are you perhaps gaining where others are losing? And I say that politely given some of the players in the industry and the woes that they've experienced.
Well, in our assessment, the market is growing at about a 4% compounded annual growth rate. Our growth of 25% signifies that we're taking a little bit more than the average growth rate of the market. Sure. And we're trying our level best in every corner to improve the product and services and the capability it delivers to business customers. Domestically in South Africa, our value proposition is optimization of costs and doing things better, or more bang for the same buck. Alternatively, also global expansion. As many South African businesses are looking to expand in emerging and mature markets, we can provide that as a single source service provider in South Africa. To the consumers, we launched new services and new devices early in the year, which helped our engagement with the consumers in terms of growth in voice and data services.
Lilo, we were chatting before Sunil came into studio, and you were pointing out how the company shot the lights out in this period.
I mean, these are the kind of results that Neotel's direct peer and competitor would love to have. If they had these numbers, that stock price would turn around. Now, the question that I have is, you're doing fantastically in a very, very competitive area, which is the business segment, where your competitor is also strong, where the mobile guys have put in fiber optic. So clearly, everyone is going for that valued customer. What tools are you using to compete there? Is it price, volume? Is it bundling of services? What's the secret there?
What's the draw card? In fact, I suppose you can't share all your secrets, given who may be watching this evening.
Yes. I think it's come over the years that we've been building infrastructure. Right now, Neotel has about 7,000 kilometers of fiber that we've now laid in South Africa, and we will continue to augment more in our footprint. Therefore, we're able to reach more business customers than we did before. We still love to use the existing infrastructure available and get greater access. But the services we ride on top are really differentiating us right now. Our ability to deliver faster, we've improved our time to deliver by about half of what it was a year ago. We're getting our fiber or MTTR improved by 50% of what it was a year ago. And the staff are equally engaged on creating new products and services. At the customer experience layer, it's becoming a lot better. And improvements such as this, and we're still a small organization, and we certainly have huge aspirations for growth, but we see market opportunity for IP and converged services for businesses, but also the combination of voice and data in terms of broadband for consumers. And both are starting to play in a manner that's engaging our product and services set. And we feel quite happy about the direction we've taken, but we certainly have a long way to go.
You can't argue with the fact that you should be happy about the direction that you're taking right now. When you talk about your aspirations for significant growth, do you think that you can keep up your current growth rate, which, as you've pointed out, is above market?
Our aim is to do just that. It won't be an easy ride because, as Khaila pointed out, there is competitive activity, but also there's market demand and market opportunity for growth in broadband and internet in South Africa, growth in voice and voice services, especially from TDM to IP voice. But we're also seeing growth in and the overall businesses wanting to expand in other geographies. So 300 cities, 200 countries, 6 continents, we can take a business there, sitting right here in South Africa by virtue of our capability in South Africa and our significant shareholder, majority shareholder, Tata Communications, that has physical presence in 51 countries, but also the world's largest owner-operator of submarine cable systems and the world's largest wholesaler of voice. Gives us a unique strength in South Africa.
Paul's got a quick question, and then you've got one.
Sunil, if the introduction of a South Korean investor into telecom, how would that affect your situation, or how do you perceive that?
We do continue to see the South African and the SADC market as our area that we'd like to grow and expand into. Competition exists, as we pointed out earlier. I think competition is good for South Africa as a marketplace. It'll force us to innovate. It'll force us to think differently and bring more comprehensive solutions to consumers. I think it's a great thing.
Hlelo, one last question.
I think if I recall, there was a conversation that has been raging for many, many years about deregulating or unbundling the last mile. How far away from that are we, and what's your hope with that?
The hope is positive. LLU in most of the OECD countries has already been established. Yeah. Our view is if there is infrastructure invested in South Africa, it should be leveraged. It's the right outcome for the country, which will enable investments to be leveraged by service providers. And I believe it's the right direction to go. Now, we work with ICASA and the government and our partners that have infrastructure here in terms of copper last mile to see how we can create an environment to make it economically viable for us to leverage that and provide services to our customers in South Africa. And we will continue to push that LLU objective with ICASA and work with them.
Sunil, thanks so much for joining us in
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
That was Neotel CEO Sunil Joshi.